Okay, now I have a little bit longer time. Let's say we double our time to 30 seconds, and I'm going to, here's the pose on my screen. You can see, maybe. There we go. And here's my newsprint, and my timer over here set now for 30 seconds. I'm going to hit start, and just again, I'll start out with the sort of continuous line, and I'll probably mostly be looking at the model. In these 30-second and 1-minute poses, you can look down at the paper, of course, but I would look mostly at the model and not worry about how this going to look too much, because we're still at that stage where we're really just trying to get the feel and loosen up a bit. So I'm going to hit the start button. There we go. And you could start anywhere. You could start in the torso. And we're not trying to do outlines per se. We're trying to get away from outlines. We can draw inside the forms. We can draw outside the forms. We're just trying to follow as our eye follows along the pose. The main thing is we're really feeling this twist of the body, the tilt of the head, and it's still kind of fast and furious and messy at this stage. There's definitely types of gesture that are more finished, more impressive looking, but you don't really get the heart of what gesture is about. You want to really feel like even the gestures of the down to the toes and all of that. So that's here again. I'm going a little bit faster than I've used up the time. A little bit quicker than but that's pretty close. So in 30-second pose, it may end up being something like this, but and occasionally I'm along the outlines of the model, or what we would call the contours, these outer contours. But I'm not, I'm often inside the model, because that's where a lot of the energy is. The energy isn't on the outlines. If you're just going around carefully and doing, contours, we're going to do contour drawing at some point, then you're not really getting the essence of gesture. If this was done lightly, and I didn't do it super lightly because I wanted you to see it, if it was done lightly, or if it was done in light charcoal, I could maybe, kind of dust it off and then come back and, start, picking out contours, really feeling the contour edges on top of this and actually make it into something. But, I don't really, that's not what the point of all this is. The point of it is to just feel this action and really, even if you exaggerate some of these bends and curves, whatever helps you kind of feel it, and you start to see the rhythm of the connections of, say, like this edge of the back of the rib cage, and and it flows into the body, and it takes you over to that hip, right there, and that takes you down into that beautiful curve of the thigh, and that kind of can almost follow that over here to the back of the calf. And the great thing about these gestures, where you move all the way through the pose, is you really start to see the connections of the whole, and that is the key. One of the key benefits of gesture is seeing the all over at once. And that's what gesture teaches you to do, not just a bunch of little parts that are not that well connected. So, this is how we kind of loosen up and start warming up, but at the same time getting a feel for what gesture really is.